From heartbreak in the Premier League to history in the Championship. Welcome to the 2024-25 Burnley season review, a statement campaign under the calm command of Scott Parker, with the Clarets rising from the ashes of relegation to a dominant promotion charge. A watertight defence, records shattered, critics silenced. Join me as we relive the success of the Clarets season, with James Trafford in record-breaking form between the sticks, Maxime Esteve marshalling the backline, and the turf of Turf Moor once again a fortress. This is the story of Burnley's 24-25 season. Promotion wasn't a surprise, it was inevitable. So we go right back to the start last summer, with Burnley signing a multi-year kit deal with Castor, replacing Umbro, which had been Burnley's kit manufacturer for the previous 5 years. The deal reflects Castor's growing presence in football. They also partner with clubs like Newcastle, Bayer Leverkusen and AS Monaco. The season's home shirt, of course, Claret, no doubt, blue sleeves featuring an abstract long-side topographical print, which is inspired by the stands wall at Turf Moor with a crew neck design. The away shirt paid tribute to the town's mining history, the design black with a printed wrap over crew neck, featuring a repeated print inspired by industrial structures, while their third shirt, the final one, was white, but in celebration of the Claret flag, which is used for the trim. The kits defined who would be wearing them as Burnley looked to finalise their squad in the transfer market. Plenty of transfers out of the club as the Clarets look to reorganise and manage finances for the Championship season ahead. Bailey Peacock-Farrell dropped to League One with recently relegated Birmingham City, while Originate Murich followed Ipswich up to the Premier League. Lawrence Vigouroux made the move to South Wales to join Swansea City as Samuel Bastian joined Fortuna Sittard in the Dutch Eredivisie. Wilson Odobert brought in around about a £31 million fee from Tottenham, while Scott Twine turned to his previous season loan at Bristol City and made it permanent. Sander Berger remained in the Premier League with Fulham, and Anas Arouri headed to France and League One club Lyon. After re-signing a short contract, Johan Berg Gudmundsson then headed to Al Roba in Saudi Arabia. Dara O'Shea joined Murich at Ipswich, and Amin Al-Dakil joined Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. Wout Weghorst had barely featured for the Clarets in the last few seasons with loan deals, but he permanently headed home to the Netherlands with Ajax, as Luke McNally joined Twine at Bristol City. Fullback Vitinha then returned back to Brazil with Botafogo, Zeki Amdouni transferred out to Benfica, and Michael Obafemi was picked up by Plymouth to open up some squad gaps for Scott Parker to fill. The first secured transfer of Burnley's summer was centre-back Maxime Esteve, who had joined the club on loan in January 24 from Montpellier, and he made that move permanent in June. The French centre-back, who came through Montpellier's academy, had made 59 Ligue 1 appearances before joining Burnley, with defensive solidarity key to Scott Parker's plans. The fee was rumoured at €15 million, with Montpellier also securing a 15% sell-on clause. 16 appearances for Burnley in the Premier League gave him the chance to settle in ahead of the club's assault to return back to the Premier League. At just 22 years of age as well, a developing young defender with high hopes for the Clarets. Burnley originally signed Mike Tressor from Genk on transfer deadline day in September 2023 on a season-long loan. The deal included an option to buy at the end of the campaign. Tressor, a Belgian international, had been linked with Burnley throughout the summer before completing his move. He was the Belgian Pro League Player of the Year in 2022-23, recording an impressive 9 goals and 33 assists over 2 seasons at Genk. The attacking midfielder began his career at Anderlecht before moving to NEC Nijmegen in the Netherlands, where he scored 7 goals in 29 games. He later joined Willem before making his switch to Genk in 2021. 16 million the fee to bring into Turf Moor permanently after 23 appearances for Burnley in all competitions last season. Let's see how he got on this time around later on when we look at each player's stats. The Clarets brought in a new right back in the form of Dutch fullback Sharandi Sambo, who had previously played for PSV Eindhoven. He joined Burnley after his contract with the Eredivisie club expired. Sambo penned a 4-year deal, highlighting Burnley's history and ambition as key reasons for choosing Turf Moor. Sambo's journey started at PSV Eindhoven, where he progressed through the youth ranks before making his first team debut in 2021. The Dutch defender had spent time on loan at Sparta Rotterdam during the 2022-23 season, where he played 30 league matches and impressed with his defensive and attacking contributions. After returning to PSV, he made 14 first-team appearances before deciding to move to England. Burnley also signed Lucas Perez from Santos in July 2024 for a reported fee of £1.9 million. The Brazilian left-back had previously spent time on loan at Cadiz, arriving at Turf Moor on a 4-year deal. Perez had been highly rated during his time at Santos, where he made 49 appearances before moving to Spain. His loan spell at Cadiz saw him feature in 28 matches where he'd scored 1 goal. Burnley had been searching for a long-term solution at left-back, especially after Charlie Taylor left the club to join Southampton. At Santos, Lucas was known for his overlapping runs, dribbling and crossing ability, making him an attacking threat from deep, traits that Parker wanted as part of his side's transition from defence to attack. Burnley signed Andreas Hauntonji from Caen in July 2024 for a reported fee of £3.4 million. The Benin international forward arrived at Turf Moor on a 4-year contract. Hauntonji had an impressive season in League 2 with Rodez, scoring 14 goals in 35 appearances before making the move to England. Internationally, he's represented Benin, making his debut in a 1-1 draw against Senegal during an AFCON qualifier. He described Burnley as a club that gives great opportunities to young players and expresses excitement about playing English football. But come January, Burnley decided to send him out on loan to Standard Liège to help him develop and get more minutes on the pitch, as he'd started just 2 games before his loan deal to Belgium. Burnley signed Václav Hladký on a 2-year deal in July 2024 after his contract with Ipswich Town expired. The 33-year-old Czech goalkeeper started his career in his hometown of Brno, Czech Republic, playing for Šabrovka Brno before moving to Slovan Liberec in 2015. He later moved to Scotland, where he played for St Mirren, impressing in the Scottish Premiership. His performances earned him a move to Salford City, where he won the EFL trophy, claimed the League 2 Golden Glove and was named Player of the Season. In 2021, he joined Ipswich Town, playing over 70 matches and helping the club achieve back-to-back promotions from League 1 all the way to the Premier League. 24-year-old goalkeeper Etienne Green was born in Colchester, England, but moved to France at the age of 4, which had led him to playing his football at St Etienne. Burnley signed him on a 3-year deal for an undisclosed fee. Green had spent his entire professional career at St Etienne, making over 35 top-flight appearances in France. He made quite the debut back in 2021, keeping a clean sheet and saving a penalty in a victory over Nimes. Green has also represented England at youth level, earning 2 caps for the under-21s, with tough competition there for the goalkeeping spots, with James Trafford and of course Hladký added to the squad. Unlikely probably to fulfil much game time, but great experience. Burnley also signed Joe Worrell from Nottingham Forest in August on a 4-year deal for an undisclosed fee. Upon signing for Burnley, Worrell expressed excitement about the move, so I'm very happy to be a Burnley player. I can't wait to be involved and help them get back to the Premier League. Worrell had spent his entire career at Forest, making over 200 appearances across both the Premier League and the Championship. He also had loan spells at Rangers in the Scottish Premiership and Besiktas in the Turkish Super League. Despite his time at Nottingham Forest, Worrell played a key role in their promotion to the Premier League back in 2022, something Parker was hoping to gain experience from with this group of players. Hannibal Mejbri signed from Manchester United in late August for an initial fee of £5.4 million, which could rise to £9.4 million with add-ons. The deal also included a sell-on clause and options for United to buy him back at a predetermined price. Mejbri is a Tunisian international midfielder, and he had been part of United's youth system since 2019, making 13 first-team appearances before his move to Burnley. He previously had loan spells at Birmingham City and Sevilla, where he gained valuable experience. Burnley, of course, renowned for their creative video signings. They announced Hannibal with a reworking of Oasis song Wonderwall to say "You're my Hannibal" in another win for the social media account. With time running out in the window, Burnley were certainly busy, this time adding 29-year-old midfielder Josh Laurent from Stoke City to their squad. Laurent had previously played for QPR, Brentford, Hartlepool United, Wigan Athletic, Bury, Shrewsbury Town, Reading and of course Stoke City. He was a key figure at Reading, winning the Player of the Season award in 2020-21 and later becoming club captain at Stoke. Laurent's move to Burnley brings experience, leadership and versatility to their midfield, seen as a well-rounded player. His leadership qualities make him a valuable presence as well in the dressing room, with aims of course of returning to the Premier League. John Egan left Sheffield United, with the 31-year-old defender joining on a deal until the end of the season. Egan had previously spent 6 years at the Blades, where he played a key role in their promotion to the Premier League and making over 200 appearances. He also won promotion from the Championship twice and earned more than 30 caps for the Republic of Ireland. His experience playing in high-pressure matches and his leadership qualities could make him an important addition to Scott Parker's squad, but he was eventually moved out on loan in January. He has a reputation as a commanding centre-back who before his time at Sheffield United also played for Brentford, Gillingham and Sunderland. Bashir Humphreys joined Burnley on a season-long loan from Chelsea back in August. The deal included an option to buy, meaning Burnley could make the move permanent depending on certain conditions. The 21-year-old defender, who can play as a centre-back or left-back, previously spent time on loan at Swansea, where he made 27 appearances. Before that, he had a stint in Bundesliga 2 with Paderborn. Humphreys has also represented England at youth levels, including the under-21s. Burnley manager Parker reportedly played a key role in convincing Humphreys to join, highlighting his potential and the club's ambitions. Some reports suggest that if Burnley exercised the option to buy, the total fee could be around £14.7 million, including add-ons for the young defender. Jaden Anthony's loan deal at Burnley saw the winger reunited with his former manager Parker, under whom he had previously thrived at Bournemouth. Anthony had spent the prior season at Leeds United, where he struggled for consistent game time due to competition from other wingers. Burnley secured Anthony on a loan-to-buy deal, meaning his move would become permanent depending on certain conditions. Reports suggesting if Burnley achieved promotion back to the Premier League that a £7.5 million transfer fee would be automatically triggered for his permanent signing, which we can confirm now that has happened. Anthony is capable of playing off either the right or left wing, which will make him a valuable versatile option for Burnley's front line. Burnley also secured another season-long loan signing, this time Jeremy Sarmiento from Brighton and Hove Albion. The 22-year-old winger spent the second half of last season at Ipswich, helping them achieve promotion to the Premier League. Born in Madrid to Ecuadorian parents, he started his youth career at Charlton Athletic before moving to Benfica in 2018. He returned back to England in 2021 to sign for Brighton, where he was named the club's Young Player of the Season in his first campaign. Internationally, Sarmiento represented England at youth levels before committing to Ecuador, making his senior debut in 2021, where he's since become a regular for the national team. Zian Fleming joined Burnley as well on loan from Millwall in August, the deal including an obligation to buy two, meaning Burnley would pay £7 million, making the move permanent this summer. Burnley had previously tried to sign Fleming when they were in the Premier League, but they failed with multiple bids. However, they renewed their interest and managed to secure the Dutch attacking midfielder just days before the transfer deadline. Fleming had a strong first season at Millwall, scoring 15 goals, but his second season was more challenging. With a drop in his shot count and overall attacking output, despite this, he still finished as Millwall's top goal scorer with 8 goals and wanting to progress on this at Burnley. So in this section of the Burnley season review, we're going to run through the Clarets Championship season, going month by month, looking at the key highlights both on and off the field. Burnley kicked off their 24-25 Championship season in strong form under new manager Scott Parker. They wanted to bounce back to the Premier League, and they started with a commanding away victory at Kenilworth Road against fellow relegated Luton Town. Goals from Josh Brownhill, Wilson Odobert, Dario Shea and Vitinho, securing the win with 3 of those players about to leave the team. In their first home game, Burnley delivered a dominant performance against Cardiff City. The match featured an own goal by keeper Ethan Horvath and further goals from Luca Koleosho, Brownhill, Zeki Amdouni and Johan Berg Gudmundsson. Burnley then faced their first setback of the season with a narrow loss at the Stadium of Light. Despite their best efforts, a first half goal by Romain Mundle secured the win for Sunderland, which ended Burnley's perfect start. And the month concluded with a hard-fought draw in the East Lancashire derby at Turf Moor. Lyle Taylor's thumping header cancelling out Andreas Weiman's long-range dipping volley for Blackburn. Summer acquisitions, including Lucas Perez and Maxime Esteve, quickly integrated into the squad, which contributed to the team's strong start and solidifying the defence. Overall, Burnley finished August with 10 points from a possible 12 in the league, setting down a marker for the season that suggested their aspirations to return back to the top flight were more than justified. A high-stakes encounter at Ellen Road, Burnley secured a vital victory over fellow promotion contenders Leeds United. Luca Koleosho's 18th minute goal proved decisive, and the team's resolute defence preserved the lead amid intense pressure amongst their promotion and championship challengers. Returning to Turf Moor, Burnley faced a spirited Portsmouth side. The Clarets showcased their attacking versatility with goals from Josh Brownhill and Zeki Amdouni. Concluding the month with a goalless draw at the Kassam Stadium, Burnley encountered a well-organised Oxford United defence. Despite dominating possession, the Clarets were unable to break the deadlock in that one. Manager Scott Parker utilised the early September international break then to recalibrate and reinforce the importance of rest and tactical reinforcement during this period. He prepared the squad for the demanding fixtures ahead. There was positive news off the pitch as Joe Cullen agreed a new contract with the club. Esteve had a 5-year contract and Koleosho as well was handed a new deal. Burnley announced the return of their International Youth Cup, partnering with YouTube sensation Dude Perfect. Scheduled in September, the tournament was aimed to spotlight emerging talents percentage to enhance the club's global outreach. Josh Brownhill was also nominated for the PFA Player of the Month, but the September award went to Boy of Science of Norwich, but Brownhill's performances were certainly getting recognition. October began with a hard-fought victory at Turf Moor, Brownhill's 26th-minute penalty securing all 3 points, holding his nerve from the spot, proving the man for the occasion, not for the last time this season. In a tightly contested Lancashire derby with Preston, both sides shared the spoils with a 0-0 draw. Ahead of the international break and a return 2-0 win then at Hillsborough against Sheffield Wednesday, Jaden Anthony and Brownhill seeing them off. Zian Fleming then hit his first goal against Hull City as Burnley managed to save a point on the road with his 77th minute equaliser. With their final championship game of October, a goalless draw at Turf Moor, despite 22 shots and 16 corners at a stage of the season where goals were hard to come by. Joe Walsh suffered a significant setback when he broke a bone in his foot, which would see him sidelined until December, while Lyle Foster withdrew from the South African squad with a knee injury that did not require surgery but did need rehab. Former midfielder Jack Cork returned to the club in a coaching role, rejoining the club to assist under-21 head coach Andy Farrell. And in a significant move, Burnley announced the appointment of James Holroyd as the new CEO, formerly with Manchester United. His expertise expected to bolster the club's commercial growth and global outreach. Under-21 goalkeeper Sam Waller signed a contract to 2026 with a 1-year extension option. His goal, he said, was to play for the Clarets, while Brownhill was nominated for the PFA Player of the Month again for the second month running, but was unsuccessful. November was a pivotal month for Burnley as they embarked on an unbeaten run that solidified their position in the Championship's top tier. Burnley started by suffering a narrow defeat at the Den, Jake Cooper's header ending their unbeaten streak since August. A tight 0-0 at the Hawthorn saw points shared with the Baggies. Then they returned to Turf Moor. Burnley secured a narrow victory over Swansea with an injury time penalty from Jay Rodriguez for a dramatic finish. The Clarets continued their winning momentum with a hard-fought win at Ashton Gate, edging out Bristol City by a single goal. Jaden Anthony the difference maker over the Robins. 2-0 wins to finish the month as the clean sheets were starting to rack up. A commanding performance against Coventry was then followed up by a strong performance at Stoke to see November out with 6 more points. Off the field, Burnley native Chris Casper was named their academy manager, transitioning from his role as Director of Football Development at Salford City, where he spent 8 years overseeing their growth. Bashir Humphreys had been another to impress with his performances, and the on-loan defender was called up to the England under-21 side and then awarded the player of the match against Spain. Second place in the league as the fight was hotting up early, Burnley's defensive solidarity was starting to garner attention. They were becoming a very tough team in the Championship to score against. The festive period is a busy one for football clubs and fans. Burnley had 6 Championship matches to navigate through a busy December. Points were shared with both Middlesbrough and Derby at Turf Moor. A 1-1 draw against Borough saw Connor Roberts level and Anthony Daxdale lead, while 12 shots against Derby couldn't break through and it ended 0-0. Burnley did return to winning ways though with a comeback victory against Norwich City. Conceding early to Jose Cordoba, Fleming equalised with a stunning strike and Brownhill secured the win late on. Maintaining their strong home form, Burnley then edged out Watford with a 2-1 win. Anthony and Brownhill once again keeping their promotion push on track ahead of a huge clash coming up. A significant away performance as Burnley ended Sheffield United's home run with a vital 2-0 win that really showcased their promotion credentials and denting one of their rivals' hopes. It was Borough again as they played twice in December, this time a 0-0 draw at the Riverside to close out the year, as Burnley were firmly in promotion contention. Off-field, the club announced price freezes on the tickets for 25-26 season, a real positive for Claret fans. And there was also success for the Burnley under-18s who clinched the Professional League North title with 69 points from 31 matches, the club displaying their commitment to nurturing young talent to round off a 2024. The January transfer window rolled around and those looking for more game time left for opportunities both permanently and on loan deals. Jay Rodriguez brought to an end his 6-season stay with Burnley, 182 appearances in all competitions as he joined Wrexham as they fought for League One promotion. Hanno Masengo and Andreas Huntonji had found minutes difficult in the early part of the season. Masengo joined AJ Auger on loan and Huntonji headed to Belgium and Standard Liège. With further loan moves, Michael Mellon joined Bradford City of League 2 and Owen Dodgson to Burton Albion of League 1 for the rest of the campaign. Defenders Helmar Ekdal and Hannes Delcroix also departed on loan, Ekdal to Groningen in the Dutch Eredivisie and Delcroix over to Swansea in South Wales. It was go on my son as Burnley added to their squad for the second half of the season in January, starting with Oliver Son, a 24-year-old right back from Silkeborg in Denmark. Son represents Peru internationally and joined on a 4.5-year deal for an undisclosed fee. The defenders played over 100 matches in Denmark's top flight and was part of Silkeborg's Danish Cup winning squad in 2023. He described Burnley as a massive club with great ambitions and expressed excitement about developing under the club's management. A versatile fullback who has the capability to play in midfield with an attacking mindset added to the squad. The Clarets re-signed Ashley Barnes in January on a short-term deal until the end of the season after he left Norwich City by mutual consent. Barnes, a fan favourite, previously played for Burnley from 2014 to 2023, helping them secure 3 promotions to the Premier League. His recent run at Norwich saw him a regular fixture last season with 35 Championship games and 6 goals. With only 8 substitute games this season for the Canaries, their time was brought to a close. With 293 appearances and 54 goals in all competitions for the Clarets, it looks like Barnes will reach the 300 appearance milestone for Burnley, who's clearly buzzing about his return. He said, "Burnley has been a massive part of my life for over a decade, and I can't wait to pull on the Claret shirt again." The unmistakable John Joe Shelvey was added to the Claret ranks, signing a short-term deal in January to the end of the season. The 32-year-old midfielder joins the club's midfield after leaving Eyüpspor in Turkey. Shelvey, who's made over 450 career appearances, previously played for Charlton Athletic, Liverpool, Swansea City, Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest and Kayseri Rizespor in Turkey. He expressed excitement about the move, stating that he aimed to help Burnley return to the Premier League. Key experience and a determined midfielder, Shelvey's been away from the English game for a few years, but added more experience to the promotion bid. Burnley also signed Jayden Bernal from Ajax in January for an undisclosed fee, expected to be around the £1 million mark. The 20-year-old forward joined on a 4.5-year deal. Bernal, who had progressed through Ajax's academy since 2012, made his first team debut in November 2023 in the Europa League. He also played over 50 matches for young Ajax, Ajax's reserve team. Upon signing, Bernal expressed his excitement, saying, "Feels amazing to be here. It's a historical club and I see a lot of options here for me to show my qualities. A transfer with future progression in mind and interesting to see how he develops with the Clarets." Burnley also brought in Marcus Edwards from Sporting in Portugal in February on loan until the end of the season. The 26-year-old winger reunited with Burnley manager Parker, who had coached him during his time in Tottenham Hotspur's academy. Edwards expressed excitement about joining Burnley, calling it like a Premier League club and stating that Parker's ambition convinced him to make the move. He had previously played for Vitória de Guimarães and Sporting has been, of course, scoring 24 goals in 120 matches in Portugal. Burnley reportedly agreed to make the deal permanent. For around £8.5 million, they secured promotion to the Premier League. Spoiler warning, Burnley with promotion to the Premier League. So that is a fee and a permanent deal for next season. January was a pivotal month for Burnley, marked by steadfast defensive performances on the field and strategic decisions off it, all contributing to their successful push for Premier League promotion. The new year commenced with a goalless draw against Stoke City at Turf Moor. Despite being reduced to 10 men, Burnley maintained their unbeaten home record. In a fiercely contested East Lancashire derby, Burnley came out on top against Blackburn, a powerful diving header from Zion Fleming to extend their unbeaten streak against Rovers to 11 matches. In a match that could have altered the promotion race, goalkeeper James Trafford emerged as the hero against Sunderland, saving 2 late penalties. Incredible scenes. No doubt Trafford earned that clean sheet above all others. Breaking their scoring drought at last, Burnley delivered a commanding performance against Plymouth, netting 5 goals and an emphatic win at Turf Moor. And then Burnley versus Leeds produced the second lowest XG of the season. It was a highly anticipated clash between the top 2 promotion contenders, the third 0-0 of the month, but again outlining the Clarets' formidable defensive unit. James Trafford was awarded the Championship Player of the Month award for January, his 6 clean sheets, including the double penalty save against Sunderland, as his stellar season continued. Burnley finished the month in third, but having navigated games against Leeds and Sunderland, as well as the derby against Blackburn, there was plenty to feel good about heading into the back end of the season. Burnley began the month of February with yet another goalless draw at Fratton Park, this time against Portsmouth, but another clean sheet, although a lack of goals was becoming a concern. Just a solitary goal against Oxford, but a very important one. It gave Gary Rowett his first taste of defeat for the visitors, and Michael Hellick owned goal, diverting a Josh Cullen cross, giving the Clarets a 1-0 win. Goals from Bashir Humphreys and Zion Fleming secured a comfortable home win against Hull, as the unbeaten run went on with a 2-0 victory. Before another 0-0 draw, this time at Preston, but an unsavoury incident with Milutin Osmajic accused and ultimately charged for racially abusing Hannibal Mejbri, leaving Burnley players rightfully refusing to shake his hands in the FA Cup tie. The month ended with one of the most recent emphatic performances, as Burnley put 4 past Sheffield Wednesday at Turf Moor, Edwards, Brownhill, Roberts and Benson on target for the Clarets. 12 straight clean sheets continue to break all records for Burnley, as their goals conceded ratio was now becoming ridiculous in a good way. Off-field, Irish forward Dara Costello signed a new deal with the club, heading on loan to Northampton Town, having spent the first part of the season at Accrington. Goalkeeper Trafford's remarkable run of 12 consecutive clean sheets, setting a new championship record, was concluded in the match against Cardiff City. Burnley, however, still walked away with the victory at Cardiff. Brownhill and Maxime Esteve's goals enough despite Youssef Salek scoring the first league goal against Burnley in 2025. In a dominant display then at Turf Moor, Burnley dismantled Luton with goals from Ashley Barnes, Brownhill and others, as their attacking concerns were fading away. Next up was a tightly contested match, sharing the spoils with West Brom. Zion Fleming's goal enough to ensure the Clarets extended their unbeaten streak, while Scott Parker was sent off for entering the field of play late on to remonstrate with the ref. More success than in Wales, a solid away win at Swansea. Brownhill again amongst the goals, as was Jaden Anthony in this one, in a 2-0 win to further cement their position in the Championship promotion fight. March then ended with another key victory, an early Zion Fleming goal enough to be decisive in seeing off Bristol City 1-0 at home. Off the pitch, there was another contract extension, this time for Connor Roberts, taking his deal to 2027, while Parker was handed a one-match touchline ban for that red card against West Brom. Brownhill got his third nomination for the PFA Player of the Month, with another pivotal month for Burnley, but this time he was beaten to the award by Tyrese Campbell of Sheffield United. With the top 3 in a titanic battle for the top 2 promotion spots, Burnley started the month of April well with a 2-1 win at Coventry, an important brace from Jaden Anthony to keep Burnley in the fight. A goalless draw at Derby threatened to open the door, but Burnley reacted well against Norwich. Hannibal with a player of the match performance and first Clarets goal in a 2-1 win. Burnley then secured another 2-1 victory, this time over 9-man Watford, coming from behind to win and move back to the top of the Championship with just 3 games remaining. Then a high-stakes encounter at Turf Moor, captain Josh Brownhill netting both goals, leading Burnley to an absolutely crucial 2-1 win over third-place Sheffield United. This victory not only sealed the promotion for Burnley, but also extended their unbeaten run to 31 league matches, setting a new club record. Capping off the season away from home, the Clarets also remained in the Championship title fight to the final day, blowing QPR away at Loftus Road 5-0. Josh Brownhill finally won his Player of the Month award, having been nominated 3 previous times. That double in the vital clash with Sheffield United, the clincher, not only for the award but for Burnley's promotion. So with promotion secured, there was just a matter of the Championship title to be decided on the final day of the season. Leeds had the upper hand going in due to their superior goal difference, who only needed to win at Plymouth or match Burnley's result against Millwall. Burnley managed to conclude their Championship campaign with that 3-1 win over Millwall. A last-gasp winner though for Leeds at Plymouth snatched the title away. Both teams ended up on 100 points, a fantastic achievement, and ultimately with promotion being the goal, there wasn't too much to dwell on in regards to the title front for Burnley. On Tuesday the 6th of May, Burnley celebrated with a promotion parade, a squad appearance on the Burnley Town Hall balcony, and open-top bus parade to celebrate the achievement with all the supporters. Promotion secured, a return to the Premier League for the Clarets, celebration throughout the city of Burnley. While the title would have been nice, ultimately promotion from the Championship was the aim and was certainly objective complete. A season of fantastic defensive performances, undoubtedly the backbone to a consistent season which was a 3-way battle for most of it between Leeds, Burnley and Sheffield United. In the end, Burnley outpaced the Blades in the season running. That vital 2-1 victory in April, the final nail in the coffin for Sheffield United's direct promotion hopes. 28 wins, just 2 defeats across the entire season for Burnley. Parker had turned his Clarets outfit into a very difficult to beat side. How will that adjust to the Premier League? Well, that's a story yet to come. Getting back to the Premier League was of course the main focus for the Clarets, but they did have a bit of a run in the FA Cup, reaching the 5th round for the 3rd time in 5 seasons. Burnley opened against League One Reading and needed extra time to overcome their opponents. Zion Fleming at the double in the 100th and 109th minute to see his team through to the 4th round. Premier League opposition Southampton, who were having a truly awful season, were seen off 1-0 at St Mary's as Marcus Edwards scored the first goal of his Burnley career after his January loan move. But at the 5th round stage, it was Preston who saw off Burnley, with their minds fair to be said on the league, as Scott Parker made 9 changes in that one. The match also had the backdrop of the Osmaric racial incident just weeks before, the Clarets, as we said, refusing to shake their hands in solidarity with Hannibal. The Clarets went down 3-0 and exited the FA Cup. The EFL Cup finished as soon as it started this season for Burnley. They matched up against Premier League Wolves and they went out in the second round with a 2-0 defeat. Goncalo Guedes scoring twice to knock out the Clarets. Having reached the 4th round in the last 3 seasons, it was an early exit on this occasion for Scott Parker's side. So performance-wise, while Burnley's defence was grabbing most headlines, their attacking play was equally crucial in securing promotion, particularly at the back end of the season. The Clarets scored 69 league goals, with only Leeds and Norwich scoring more in total than Burnley. Whilst not taking the largest amount of shots, Burnley were clinical with shots on target and efficiency at scoring, with many attacking players contributing. Burnley showed their versatility in attack, with midfielders and forwards contributing to chance creation. The arrival of players like Marcus Edwards added flair and creativity, with key passes and dribbling stats reflecting their ability to unlock defences. Players like Josh Brownhill emerged as key contributors, not only with goals but also with assists, driving the team forward. Brownhill's leadership and knack for scoring important goals were pivotal in tight matches. Burnley capitalised as well on set-piece situations, leveraging their physicality in the box to score crucial goals. This proved decisive again in close games when open play chances were limited. Their approach blended patient build-up play with quick transitions, focusing on maintaining possession to control games, but not afraid to exploit counter-attacks. Burnley kept a staggering 30 clean sheets across 46 league games, a championship record. This incredible consistency in defence was a cornerstone of their success, making them the toughest team to break down all season. With just 0.35 conceded goals per game on average, Burnley boasted the stingiest defence in the league, frustrating opponents and often snatching narrow victories. The central defensive duo of Maxime Esteve and CJ Egan-Riley were pivotal. Their combination of physicality, tactical awareness and composure helped maintain the team's solidarity. Burnley employed a well-organised, disciplined defensive structure. The team often defended deep and compact, they minimised the spaces between the lines and they reduced their opposition's chances. Their ability to force errors and quickly transition into attack kept pressure away from the defence. 3 players were announced in the Championship team of the season, all part of this defensive unit. James Trafford, Maxime Esteve and CJ Egan-Riley, all featuring for their performances. Egan-Riley's defensive stats, including interceptions, blocks and clearances, were amongst the best in the Championship. At the time of recording though, looks like he's off to Strasbourg, which would be a big miss for next season, while James Trafford's performances between the sticks were crucial. With a new manager at the helm came a new philosophy for Burnley, as Scott Parker was certainly very different tactically from previous manager Vincent Kompany. Burnley's 2024-25 Championship season under Scott Parker was characterised by tactical discipline, defensive solidarity and efficient attacking play, culminating in a remarkable promotion campaign. Parker predominantly employed a 4-2-3-1 formation, emphasising structure and balance. The defensive line featured standout performers like Maxime Esteve and CJ Egan-Riley, contributing to a record-setting defence. In midfield, the double pivot of Josh Cullen and Josh Laurent provided stability and facilitated transitions, while the attacking trio, which included Zion Fleming and Jadon Anthony, offered creativity and support to the lone striker. Burnley were excellent in transitional phases, disrupting the opposition's play to initiate counters, and their narrow formation designed to limit spaces and force opponents wide. The season was a masterclass in tactical execution, balancing their defensive resilience with calculated attacking play. Scott Parker's leadership and the squad's adherence to his game plan pivotal in securing promotion. Taking a look at how the players performed this season, the club used a total of 38 players in the Championship. No team in the division used more players than Burnley, which was largely down to the transfer window ending a few weeks into the season and a number of Claret outgoings featuring in their first few games. The squad had an average age of 25.7, which was the fourth youngest in the Championship. On average, a year older though than the squad which was relegated from the Premier League the season before. We're going to take a look into each position with the help of some statistics from both sofascore.com and fbref.com to overview each player, starting with the goalkeepers. James Trafford had a remarkable season as the Clarets' #1 goalkeeper, playing a pivotal role in their promotion. The graphic on display shares stats for this season compared with previous seasons for his goalkeeping statistics, with the graph a tracker of his sofascore.com performances, rating match by match through the season. Trafford's contributions were central to Burnley's historic defensive record. He equalled the record for most clean sheets by a goalkeeper in a single English league season with 29 in 45 matches. His highlight undoubtedly saving 2 penalties in the dying minutes of the Sunderland game. His exceptional performances throughout the season led to his inclusion in the Championship team of the season. Burnley's total of conceding just 16 goals across 46 games sets a new Football League record, so it's no surprise that Trafford tops both the goals against per 90 and save percentage metrics. 84.5% save percentage is an insanely high number, considering Burnley were by far the best at limiting shots on his goal, so focus was hugely important in Trafford's matches. Between January and March, Trafford achieved 12 consecutive clean sheets, surpassing the previous Championship record of 10. This streak included a 1,000-minute run without conceding a goal. Trafford's historic season had attracted more interest from top Premier League clubs, but Burnley will feel keeping hold of their top shot stopper would be an excellent result for their Premier League survival bid. Václav Hladký had a limited but commendable supporting squad role during Burnley's Championship season. He signed from Ipswich, of course, in July, and the Czech goalkeeper had tasted promotion last season with Kieran McKenna's side, but primarily this time served as backup to James Trafford. He made his debut in August, a clean sheet and a 5-0 victory over Cardiff City, stepping in for Trafford, who was sidelined due to illness, making 4 saves there, proving that if needed he could be counted on by the Clarets. Hladký was also selected as the Cup competition's goalkeeper, playing in the EFL Cup defeat to Wolves and 3 FA Cup games in Burnley's run to the 5th round. He conceded 5 goals and kept a clean sheet away at Southampton in the 4th round. Despite his limited game time, Hladký's professionalism and dedication was praised by Scott Parker, highlighting his role in pushing Trafford to excel and maintain his high standards. A new addition in January, Oliver Son only made a total of 5 appearances for Burnley, with 2 substitute appearances in the Championship and 3 starts in the FA Cup. His Championship debut almost ended in disaster, brought on as a substitute in the 83rd minute against Sunderland with the score 0-0. A foul on Dennis Sirkin saw a penalty awarded, with James Trafford fortunately saving the Danes' blushes. His transition to English football appears to be in its early stages, with limited appearances to yet make an impact. As a 24-year-old defender, integration into Burnley may take time, but with promotion to the Premier League, it remains to be seen if he will get such opportunities. Sharandi Sambo had a notably quiet season at the Clarets with just 18 minutes of Championship action in addition to an EFL Cup appearance. After signing from PSV, he was given the number 3 shirt and anticipated to bolster the right-back position. However, he found himself down the pecking order with Bashir Humphreys and Connor Roberts preferred. Given his limited involvement, Sambo was linked with a move away from Turf Moor in December, with reports several clubs were interested in a loan deal. However, a move didn't materialise and a summer exit, whether it be permanent or on loan, appears likely. Throughout the 2024-25 Championship season, Joe Worrell made 9 appearances for Burnley, with just 3 of these coming from starting positions. Worrell did face stiff competition for a starting role in that defence, with the pairing of Esteve and CJ Egan-Riley particularly effective, leading to limited involvement in the lineup. However, when called upon, his leadership and experience did add depth to the squad. His season was also impacted by injuries, further limiting his playing time. Not since the 2022-23 Nottingham Forest campaign has Worrell featured in over 20% of a team's season's minutes, which he may well be looking to change next season. Maxime Esteve was one that had an outstanding season for Burnley. Esteve started every league game and was instrumental in Burnley's success, earning the club's Player of the Season award and a spot in the Championship Team of the Year. Compared to other top defenders, Esteve excels in defensive awareness and physicality, and he ranked really highly in standing tackles and interceptions. His ability to read the game, making crucial interventions, has been a key factor in Burnley's defensive success. Definitely a well-rounded centre-back. He's just turned 23, so there's a lot to be excited about his future. He's intelligent, anticipates well, and quality on the ball's made him a standout performer in the Championship. His performances have attracted interest from Premier League clubs, including Everton, who are reportedly considering him as a long-term replacement if Jared Branthwaite goes. Esteve has expressed his commitment, though, to Burnley, stating he loves the club and said he's focused on Premier League football. CJ Egan-Riley returned to Burnley and performed at a very high level for the Clarets, an insane 7.26 rating, outlining his outstanding season. Despite being out of favour under Vincent Kompany, Egan-Riley bounced back under Parker, becoming a key figure in their promotion-winning campaign. His performances also earned him a place in the Championship Team of the season. The centre-back partnership of him and Esteve was undoubtedly the best in the league as a partnership. Alongside Esteve, they were effective at shot blocking, and in the air, Egan-Riley was successful in pretty much half of his duels, winning 72 aerial balls over the course of the season. Egan-Riley's tackling success as well, 91.9%, and his ability to make just under 5 clearances per game highlight his defensive quality. However, sadly, Burnley looked set to lose him this summer. He's reportedly agreed to join French club Strasbourg on a free transfer. His departure will leave a significant gap in Burnley's backline, which obviously going up into the Premier League, not ideal, so they'll be absolutely desperate to keep hold of Esteve. Bashir Humphreys was another enjoying a standout season on loan at Burnley. Deployed primarily as a left-sided defender, Humphreys showcased his adaptability by effectively covering multiple positions across the backline. He became a regular starter for Burnley at left-back, his performances becoming more and more consistent as the season progressed. Sadly, a quad injury against Preston that looked minor at first saw him out for the remainder of the season. His capability at reading the game combined with strong tackling and interception skills was key as part of the Burnley defence. He was actually third for tackles per 90 and second for interceptions per 90. Humphreys been a key part of pressing his attackers into errors or turning the ball over with his defensive attributes. Burnley had an option to buy him permanently, which, given his performances in the Championship, the Clarets were keen on a permanent move. They've now agreed a package with Chelsea worth £10 million, so Humphreys will be back with Turf Moor next season. Connor Roberts was a very consistent performer at right back, another part of that key defensive unit. 7.26 SOFA score rating, that's very high if you look at other players on that metric. It's seen in his ratings graph as well, some top performances over 8 out of 10 with real consistency to his game, not one that SOFA score will give away too often during the season. His high pass completion rate and key passes per game highlight his role in initiating attacks, while his exceptional ground duel success underscores his defensive capability. Roberts' ability to contribute at both ends of the pitch as well, which makes him an indispensable part of Burnley's strategy, often overlapping with wingers, creating width and pressing opponents to regain possession. After a challenging 23-24 season where he was loaned to Leeds United, Roberts returned to Burnley with a renewed determination. Under Parker's management, he became a regular starter. This resurgence not only revitalising his club career, but reaffirming his value as a dependable right back. 2 goals and 3 assists show that he could successfully involve himself into attack, another string to their tactical bow. During the season, he signed a contract extension which would take him till the end of the 2026-27 season, showing his commitment to the club as Burnley prepare for life back in the Premier League. Lucas Pires made an immediate impact upon joining Burnley from Santos in July. The Brazilian left-back quickly established himself as a key figure in Scott Parker's defensive setup. Lucas's debut came in the season opener against Luton. He provided 2 assists in that one, which showcased his attacking intent straight away. His consistent performances throughout the season were instrumental in Burnley's promotion campaign. Lucas was also central to Burnley's build-up play. He linked well with the midfield, particularly with Josh Brownhill and Amdouni early on, to transition quickly from defence to attack. His position and awareness meant he could support both the defence and midfield, often tracking back when swiftly was required. What truly stood out for me was his ability to contribute in the offensive third, provided just 2 assists in his 34 appearances, but it wasn't just about the numbers. His overlapping runs and dangerous crosses often created chaos in the opposition's defensive third. In his first season at Burnley, Lucas Perez proved to be a crucial signing. His blend of defensive resilience and attacking flair gave Burnley a balanced and potent option on the left-hand side. Jordan Bayer's 24-25 season with Burnley was unfortunately curtailed due to a significant knee injury suffered all the way back in December 2023 during a match against Aston Villa. This injury, which was later identified as a rare meniscus issue, necessitated 2 surgeries and led to an extended period away from the pitch. As a result, Bayer was not registered in Burnley's updated squad list for this season following the transfer window closure. Prior to his injury, he had been a key figure in the defence, making 15 Premier League appearances before his injury. Despite his absence on the field, Bayer's determination to return was evident. He described his recovery journey as a mental roller coaster, expressing his eagerness to rejoin the team and contribute once more. Club captain Josh Brownhill was fantastic for Burnley this season as well, absolutely pivotal to their campaign, leading by example. 18 goals and 6 assists across all competitions and outstanding returns. His ability to control the midfield, dictate play and score crucial goals made him one of Burnley's most influential players. Some of his performances in the latter part of the season when the pressure was really on were truly outstanding. He was constantly when turned to when Burnley needed and he delivered. Top of the club's goals and assists was no surprise. Brownhill joint second top goal scorer in the whole championship. He only missed out on the golden boot by 1 goal to Joel Pirou. Brownhill was instrumental in their promotion clinching victory as well against the Blades, Sheffield United, scoring twice, including a decisive penalty to secure that 2-1 win. His leadership and consistency earned him widespread praise, and of course he was named in the team of the season as well. However, Burnley do face some uncertainty over Brownhill's future as well. His contract is set to expire soon. Reports suggest West Ham, other Premier League clubs, are interested in signing him. Josh Cullen was a regular starter under Scott Parker, starting in 44 championship matches. Playing in the centre gave him the ability to control the midfield and dictate the play for Burnley as an essential part of the team. You can see with his ratings graph the consistency of performance, given that real solid base and having the confidence, I'm sure, of a strong backline behind him as well. He looks to facilitate smooth transitions from defence to attack, as well as committed and tenacious in disrupting opposition play. His passing accuracy and defensive contributions were crucial. He ranked in the top 80% for expected assists per 90 minutes. Operating primarily as a defensive mid, he was the linchpin of Burnley's midfield. High possession rate of 89%, underscoring his reliability in possession. He expressed that this promotion felt a little bit sweeter than Burnley's previous one under Company. He said the team had to bounce back this time from Premier League relegation. A very important member of the Burnley team, he'll be desperate to contribute to a better Premier League campaign compared to the last time Burnley were there. John Joe Shelvey's addition to the squad was brief from January, the aim of adding more experience to the squad. He made just 2 substitute appearances in the Championship and was very much on the periphery of the team as it continued to be strong. He did make 2 starting appearances in the FA Cup, but minutes were limited. The deal signed by Shelvey in January was a short one which took him to the end of the season, and Burnley's release list now published, it's been confirmed that Shelvey will leave the club at the expiry of his contract. Hannibal Mejbri was a new arrival for Burnley, a strong season for him and probably one of the most improved under Parker. The £5.4 million signing from Manchester United became a fan favourite at Turf Moor, contributing with key performances in midfield. Despite early disciplinary issues, including a red card against Stoke on New Year's Day, Mejbri matured as the season progressed, picking up only 3 yellows in his last 20 matches. Parker praises emotional and psychological growth, highlighting his engagement and understanding of tactical demands. His ability to drive forward and create chances, as well as dictating play, made him an important figure in Burnley's promotion-winning squad. Looking to pass forward, his average of 4.44 in terms of progressive passing shows his focus on forward thinking, and he also did this with a pass completion of 61%. Third highest in the team as well for shot creating actions per 90, just behind Jadon Anthony and Marcus Edwards. Overall, he was a season marked by growth as well as key contributions, making him a valuable asset for Burnley, preparing for life back in the Premier League. Josh Laurent had a memorable first season at Burnley, signed for just £500,000 from Stoke City. He proved to be a bargain. Featuring in all but one championship fixture this season, he was a mainstay in the team and partnered well alongside Josh Cullen, contributing each other defensively very effectively. Laurent primarily operated as a centre mid, offering both defensive solidarity and transitional play. His versatility also allowed him to adapt to different midfield roles as required by the team's tactical setup. His good possession, a good ability to break up opposition attacks, and it's evidenced by his large number of tackles and interceptions. This helped provide an effective shield for an already very effective backline. Laurent highlighted the team's unity and culture. He credited Parker for fostering a strong bond amongst players. Off the pitch, Laurent was deeply moved by Burnley's promotion parade. It coincided with his 30th birthday, which he described as a special experience. Sarmiento arrived at Burnley on a season-long loan from Brighton and Hove Albion on deadline day of the summer transfer window. His ability to operate as a left winger added depth to Burnley's attack, scoring 4 goals in total to add to their cause. Compared to other wingers in the squad, he was a bit more inconsistent. His rating of 6.8 was behind competition in these places such as Jaden Anthony and Marcus Edwards. A double goal salvo against QPR in the penultimate match of the season was a great way though for him to sign off his loan spell. Statistically, Sarmiento ranked in the top 99th percentile for expected goals and goal contributions per 90 minutes, and he did maintain a shot accuracy of 48%, demonstrating his ability to create chances. His performances have sparked discussions about whether Burnley were going to pursue a permanent transfer for him, what Brighton's valuation might be, but with Burnley's release list now published, it's been confirmed Sarmiento will return back to Brighton, and at this moment no deal being pursued for him. Manuel Benson's season with Burnley has been heavily impacted by injuries, particularly an Achilles tendon problem, kept him out for a significant portion of the campaign and prevented him from making a real impact. He showed glimpses of his attacking qualities when fit. His goal-scoring ability and dribbling skills do remain valuable assets, but his fitness issues have raised concern about his long-term role at the club, one for the management to ponder ahead of the summer. Jaden Anthony was one who had another strong season for Burnley and played a key role in their attack. Anthony expressed his excitement about his time with the Clarets, stating that he was loving his chapter at Turf Moor. Playing mostly on the left-hand side, he provided consistency and a constant attacking threat, whether it be for himself or setting something up for a teammate. His standout moment came in Burnley's win over Coventry, where he scored a brace to secure victory. 8 goals and 7 assists, totaling 15 direct goal and assists, equated to 0.37 goals and assists per 90. It placed him 4th place in the entire squad, showing his unselfishness as well when required. Alongside his goal and assist direct contributions, he was one of Burnley's most creative forces. 175 shot creating actions in total during the season, with 4.3 shots resulting from Anthony's involvement per match. It made him one of the most creative players in the Championship as well. He was 9th for shot creating actions per 90, supporting with a 0.47 goal creating actions per game as well. He will now join the side permanently ahead of the Premier League season, with his chance to prove himself in England's top division. Nathan Redmond's return to Burnley has been a challenging one as well. He struggled with injuries, including a hamstring issue early in the season and a calf injury later on, which kept him out of several matches. As a result, his playing time has been limited, only a few appearances in the Championship and FA Cup. When he's played, it's mostly been off the bench, contributing minimally in terms of goals and assists. With Burnley's release list published, it's confirmed Redmond will leave the club in the summer. Lyle Foster had a mixed 24-25 season with Burnley. He played 28 matches in the Championship, scoring twice and providing 5 assists. Foster did struggle with injuries, particularly a knee issue that kept him out for a significant portion of the season. Despite this, he remained a key squad member, contributing effectively when fit. Foster has now been at Burnley for 2.5 seasons, registering a total of 8 league goals for the club overall. Looking at this season, with 5 assists during his time on the pitch, no Burnley player recorded a higher assist per 90, with 0.28 assists per game. This also placed him 10th in the overall Championship assist per 90 list. 2.2 shots per 90, a 33% shot on target percentage. He will perhaps though be disappointed not to add to his goals tally during the season. Having featured in over half of Burnley's Premier League matches in their last campaign, he'll be delighted to be a part of the side which took them back up to that top division. Zion Fleming joined Burnley on loan from Millwall in August with this option to buy, and I think he has really endeared himself to the Burnley fans in the second half of the season. He featured in 35 Championship matches and scored 12 goals, providing 4 assists as he drove the team forward. His ability to create chances, score crucial goals, maintaining his high work rate, made him a strong performer in the squad. Particularly effective in aerial duels, he scored 5 headed goals for the Clarets. He was only behind Brownhill in the scoring charts, but it took Fleming till matchday 11 to open his scoring account in the league, with a real second half of the season goal-scoring run for the forward. His shooting accuracy was solid, 31 shots on target in total, which at 39% accuracy was the third best in the Burnley squad. Burnley have confirmed that Fleming will be joining the side as a full permanent member of the squad, agreeing a deal with Millwall as they prepare for life in the Premier League. What you definitely want from a January addition to the squad is the capability to affect the team positively and hit the ground running. That is certainly what Marcus Edwards did with his time at the club. Despite limited game time, Edwards showed flashes of brilliance. His performances helping Burnley secure Premier League football and triggering an £8 million obligation to buy clause in his contract. Edwards featured in 16 matches across all competitions, scoring 2 goals and providing 1 assist, with one of those goals coming in the FA Cup. Second only to Jaden Anthony in shot-creating actions, he was a key contributor in attacking breakthroughs in the second half of the season. His dribbling ability and creativity made him a valuable asset, though he will look to improve his consistency in the Premier League. No player in the Burnley squad had more touches per 90 in the opposition box, with 5.87 within the 18-yard area per game, which in the whole league, that's 7th overall for players who played more than 10 games for their club. Burnley fans will be eager to see how he adapts to top-flight football next season. Luka Koleosho featured in just under half of Burnley's minutes in the Championship this season, his 2 goals both coming early on in the season against Cardiff and Leeds, hitting the net twice in their first 5 Championship matches of the season. Overall, while Koleosho's numbers weren't spectacular, his performances showed promise as a young player who could realise an exciting future. He caught the eye of a few in his last stint in the Premier League, but he now needs to turn potential into actual. This season, he was well down the direct goals and assist contributions, in 12th for his return per game. However, he still contributed in creating shots for the team, with about 3 actions per 90 leading to a shot for one of the Burnley squad. An attacking flair player, there's a lot to like to get excited about with the American-come-Italian international youth player, but also frustrations as well with a search for consistency. Now 20, will Burnley trust him again in the Premier League as an outlet to bring them the attacking numbers that they will need for a chance to stay in the division come next May? So on to the manager. Scott Parker was appointed Burnley's head coach in July 2024 following Kompany's departure to Bayern Munich. And what a season. He led the club to an immediate return to the Premier League, securing promotion with that impressive 100 points. Parker's known for his meticulous approach and strong man management skills. He's been praised for installing a top sporting culture at Burnley. His defensive tactics were particularly effective. Burnley conceded just 16 goals throughout the season. His leadership has been widely appreciated, with Burnley coach Mike Jackson highlighting his ability to unite the squad and inspire them. Parker now celebrated his 3rd promotion to the Premier League, having previously achieved that feat with Fulham and Bournemouth. Overcome with emotion, he praised the team's unity and resilience throughout the season, earning himself the EFL Championship Manager of the Season award, proving again his strong managerial capabilities in the Championship. Speculation around Tottenham managerial possibly will be batted away by the Clarets. A Premier League campaign ahead. This is very much a Burnley side moulded in Parker's image. With the Premier League return secured, now the club's focus shifts to preparing for the challenges ahead in the top flight. Their first port of call was looking at their loan acquisitions and agreeing permanent deals, some already having clauses in the loan agreement. Marcus Edwards, Zion Fleming, Jaden Anthony and Bashir Humphreys will all be back with Burnley next season. John Joe Shelvey and Nathan Redmond, following limited contributions during their season, have been let go, and several players have returned from loan spells, including Zeki Amdouni, Haramo Ekdal and Hanno Masengo, their options for the squad or transfer options to leave the team. Chairman Alan Pace emphasised the importance of strategic recruitment to ensure the Premier League survival. Can the club learn from past experiences, focus on acquiring players who fit the team's philosophy and who can adapt to the league's demands? So what are your hopes, Burnley fans, for next season? What do you think of this season? Who do you need to sign? Do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.